And welcome to another episode of the developer stream for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. I am one of your hosts, Ben McHale-Dean, producer of the game. And with me, as always, is Dave Ronixschlau, our senior content creator.
Hey, everybody.
And joining us from the Great Divide is Chris Joppa Perkins, our creative director.
Hey, everyone. Excited? Let's get this rolling.
Let's get it rolling indeed. So today, as we were teasing earlier, we are going to show you actual in-game footage of Pre-Alpha 5 Shakeout, which is happening September 5th and 6th, which is, by my records, next weekend. So if you're interested in getting into Pre-Alpha 5 Shakeout, there still is time. Head on over to pantheonmmo.com, hit that pledge button, and check out the pledges that include pre-alpha access. So without further ado, here is our new login screen. Check out the fancy art. It's looking good. It's looking smart. Dave, you want to go ahead and log in? Let's get this show rolling.
I just broadcasted your all asterisk password to the world, David.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know.
that's really secure.
It's also the combination to get into my house, too, so.
Oh, there you go.
Shift 8, Shift 8, Shift 8. Okay, so let's create a new character.
I can do that. I shall name him Ronick. I should name him George. Okay, so I'm going to be a human shaman.
Yep. I don't consider myself able to give formal legal advice on attribute, how you spend your attribute points, but what I could suggest is throwing a point into Constitution, a point into Stamina, and a couple of points into Wisdom, perhaps. We can talk later in the stream about kind of what those things do. It's not the only 3 stats that Shaman need and benefit from, but it's a good place to start.
I would just do Strength and Intelligence, but that's just me.
All right.
Actually, Intelligence is very helpful. Intelligence for a priest class, Wisdom is going to govern your spell power and your mana pool. Intelligence is going to govern your critical chance with spells, and vice versa. For a caster, Intelligence is going to govern your spell power, mana pool, and Wisdom will govern your critical chance with spells.
I say something tongue-in-cheek. It turns out to be a real thing. This is cool.
Yeah, I just want to get in game. Can I get in game?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Nobody
you.
is more excited than I for you to get into the game.
Okay, excellent. Ooh,
Sharpening swords. I love the updates that we've done with the artwork and with the loading screens, even the progress bar. I know not everybody has seen that stuff before. There are streams out there that you'll be able to see the old stuff, but this new stuff just looks so much better. So,
I know how big of a fan you are of progress bars, Ben, so I knew that would really resonate with you.
So
producers love progress bars.
Yeah. Here we are in game.
Here we are.
Very cool. So, David, the first thing that I and I'm sure many people do when they log in is not only take a look around and take things in, but why don't you go ahead and hit the I key, get your inventory open, and let's get your screen kind of laid out here well. Personally, I like having the inventory there on the left. You can drag your nameplate up or the inventory down. It's whatever you prefer. But so let's take a look at what we got here. We've got level 1 Shaman. We're seeing your health, your mana, your endurance pool. We're seeing all the attributes. There to the right of the attributes, you'll see 4 buttons. Right now it's on the melee button. If you click the various buttons, you'll be able to cycle through the various stats. So your defense, your range, your spells. This gives you kind of an at-a-glance look at some of the highlighted and important statistical information you would want to get at a glance. Underneath that, you've got your resistances, and then your general inventory down below, with 10 open general inventory slots and then 5 slots for bags. Why don't you go ahead? It looks like you've got a spell there to start you off, and you can go ahead and right-click that and learn that spell.
This would be Mantle of Mist.
Yep, Mantle of Mist.
Okay.
Very cool. And then what you've done is you've scribed that spell now into your codex. So if you open your codex, you'll see Mantle of Mist there available, and you can right-click that you see there it's an action ability, so you right click it, it's going to go directly to the action bar, and it's now usable in combat. Very cool.
Let's see if it actually works. Oh, let me get rid of this. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
So, cool. Go for it. Ben and I are actually in the game too, so I'm watching your screen a little bit, but then I'm also in game playing as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start killing some stuff while you just kind of do your thing.
I wanted to bring this up. We are actually in, for people that have been following us for a while, we are actually in Thronefast, which you probably don't recognize anymore. The reason being is, as we've talked about in the past too, is that we, the temporary Thronefast is now a thing of the past, and we have finally moved forward into the grayboxing phase of the final Thronefast. So what you see here is probably something very, very different from what you're used to seeing. And again, keep in mind this is the gray box, so the end version will be much more prettified, but you'll be able to see a lot of where we're going during pre-alpha 5 shakeout.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna start talking to this Master Zavi, the Age Walker.
Oh, looks like Joppa dinged.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Level 2.
So you'll notice also I can kind of, I don't have to, CP, maybe you can touch upon this, I don't have to follow the quest exactly as she told me because I talked to her again and something else popped up here?
Yeah, so, we talk a lot about how we want Pantheon to be an open world game, an open world experience, and we're going to come back to that again and again. Instancing versus not instancing is a really big piece of that, and that tends to be what the discussion centers around a lot. But it's also very much woven into the way the game is set up. For example, when you're, oh, look at that.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's exciting. So you got a little pop-up there giving you a little idea of what climbing is. So this actually goes perfectly what I was about to say. There's a lot of discussion. I had a tweet just a few days ago talking about the first 30 minutes of gameplay, and there's a lot of responses to that because it's a very important thing to consider. Why don't you, I'm going to talk for a second here, David, and you can just do some combat and just kind of, yeah. But there's a lot of really important things to consider in that question because the first 30 minutes of the game, oftentimes in kind of the modern selection of games that we have, MMOs, there's a very, very heavy emphasis put on kind of the new player experience. And the term hand-holding comes up quite a bit. And we've been talking through that internally quite a bit, as we've been approaching Pre-Alpha 5 and working heavily on Project Fairtail. And I think there's a really important distinction between orienting a player, and hand-holding them. And the distinction that I would make there is you want to orient new players because you want to give them the kind of knowledge and player agency to feel an ownership of the game, and they know what they need to do. They know how to do what they need to do. They know how to fight. They know how to progress. They understand how to interact with the various things in the game, be it NPCs, to talk to them, tasks, storylines, things that they might engage in. That's orientation, and that's good. Handholding, we would define that as more of a mentality where you want to ensure the success of the player in everything that they do. And that's kind of what we want to steer away from with Pantheon. We want you to be oriented. We want new players to feel like they understand how to play the game and what to do, but we don't want that feeling of this ever-present safety net where we, as in the way we design the game, are making sure that you succeed in every single thing that you do. There should be a chance for failure. There should be a chance for trial and error, so to speak. So yeah, in this case, we've talked to Master Zavi, and what David was saying earlier is that there's no quest that's been given. You're not working through a sequence of objectives here. We're just moving around the game world, talking to these NPCs, and she suggests that we should talk to this Master Fallen, and that's really up to you if you choose to do so.
I choose to do so. Okay. I'm not going to read the quests. People can figure that out later for themselves. But essentially, I have to do some things and return to Master Zavi. I'm actually...
Yeah, so you've opened your eyes here at the Pool of Paths, and Master Zavi is just kind of welcoming you as a new shaman. And she sends you to Master Fallen because he's very contemplative in his relationship with these kind of mystical water here at the Pool of Paths. And so he's really just kind of furthering the identity of the shaman, in that there is a connection between all shamans, because there's this very much a mastery of time and walking through time, and that whole premise of master shaman being able to exist in all ages at once kind of thing is really driving that home, that there's a relationship and a connectivity between all shaman, past, present, and future. So yeah, he suggests that you he suggests a couple of different things. Some of this we're glossing over because we want, knowing that PA5 Shakeout and beyond is so imminent, we want to save some stuff to be discovered by our testers and really experience for the first time. But if you do choose to come back to talk to Zavi, then you'll be able to close that loop a little bit. And it looks like I've received word that a skilled leather worker has recently moved to nearby Avelia. Encourage you to seek them out. Perhaps they can provide you with some upgrades, maybe to what you're wearing, because Terminus is a dangerous place. So
and you just don't look very stylish, Dave. I didn't want to say it, but Chris started down that path. Got to talk about what you're wearing.
It's very true. I'm disappointed.
Hey, at least I haven't died yet.
That's true.
Only fought one thing.
We're still very early though in the stream here, so let's keep it up. So what David was referring to earlier is that we're being careful and thoughtful about the kind of linear path that we put in front of players, because you have to think about things like, okay, heavy you can edit that one piece out there, David. Heavy narrative is great, but heavy narrative also creates an ongoing kind of reliance on heavy narrative, because you're being conditioned as a player to rely on being told what to do and where to go. We'll talk about that primal essence here in a second.
I'm going to take it for now.
Yeah. And so you're being told what to do and where to go, and we refer to that as the Easter egg syndrome, because if you are going to hunt Easter eggs and you go out into the area where the eggs are, and there's all these eggs everywhere, but there's like 5 golden eggs, then what are you going to do? You're going to focus on the golden eggs because okay, well, those are the ones with actually something significant and meaningful. I'm not going to worry about the hundreds of other eggs because these are golden for a reason, and I'm going to go for the golden eggs. We don't want to have golden eggs like that. We would much rather put the burden on the eggs in general, just the things that there are to find and discover, as being meaningful, and really leaving it for the player to determine what those things are. And it's also for a more practical reason where, when you're 6 months into playing Pantheon and you've had a couple of characters, some alts maybe that you've spent time on, and you decide, I want to make a new shaman because I want to make a dwarf shaman this time around. If you know the ropes of Pantheon by that time, you shouldn't be forced to go through a quest line that forces you to unlock certain things in a certain order to be able to really get into the thick of things. And so we're designing these starting experiences to be deep, if there's a desire to go deep and really uncover the identity of your class and your race and the various things, but also designing them in a way where if you had just the leather worker, for example, that Zavi mentions, if you had just run off into the world, you would still be able to find that leather worker. You would still be able to make that connection and do those things. So, how you doing, David?
I'm doing all right. Still alive. I'm just kind of killing some stuff as you talk. I'm guessing Avelia is this way, so I'm gonna try to head that way.
Why are you guessing Avelia's that way? Has that been there before?
I don't think there's much guessing involved.
It's just a hunch.
Okay.
Tearing down that fourth wall of illusion there.
I'm gonna
Hey,
thin some of these gray wolves out for you.
I see a McHale.
Oh, I didn't know you'd be here.
Oh, hello. What brings you to this area? Wait, can I? All right. These guys look a little shady, and they're.
Oh, I got an umbral essence. Nice. Sorry.
They're level 6, so I'm gonna try to. Well, the one's level 6, so I'm not gonna. I don't trust my prowess that much yet.
That's probably a good decision.
These wolves are aggro, so that's good. Yeah, they're just getting a little close. This is how I die a lot. I think it's important to remember that there are other things around other than the thing that you're killing.
Did you die?
No, I'm not dead yet.
Okay.
I know, shocking.
Well, actually, the shocking thing is.
Oh, do you want to talk about the essence? I had a shaman one, and now I just came across a dire lord one.
Yeah. So we're still very much in a testing phase, and so it's an opportunity for us to try some different things. So whereas at some point in pre-alpha 5, we want to, introduce ability progression through coin, like being able to purchase abilities through vendors. We also want to test out some aspects of, you could call it like a kind of like a loose bartering kind of thing where, right now, if you get an umbral essence or a primal essence, you can actually take one of those to a shaman master or a dire lord master in that general kind of starting area and exchange those for abilities. And so it's an opportunity to see how some of that more barter type trading and barter type mentality goes, as opposed to just I'm going to loot things, sell things, buy things. We're going to bring that online once PA5 starts, and once we get to the phase of PA5 that we want to introduce that in all those systems. But this is kind of an interim experiment. It's going to be fun to try and get some data on.
I see a wild Joppa as we've arrived in Avelia.
Nice. I'm taking a look here.
So you notice if you kind of talk to the NPCs, he mentioned he knew I was a shaman. I said, "Wow, real, genuine, honest." How do you pronounce that? Arikaro? I could try that one.
Oh no, that's not how you pronounce it. Osirico.
Osirico, thank you. I know there was no way I was getting that one right. And he mentioned I was a shaman. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, the NPCs are very intelligent, and they need to be, because when you're looking at a system like Perception, where it's built on that deep, matrix of flagging that takes into account the things you've done and who you are, and very, very large array of details that are tracked through these variables and flags. And the byproduct of that, and really what we've been able to do in developing the depth of that system, is it makes our NPC interactions very, very fresh and interesting. And so the testers will find, and you can see a little bit of it happening here, even just watching David's screen. But when we come into Avelia, your race, your class, it affects the kind of things that NPCs are going to say to you. And not only that, but you're going to notice there's a wide variety of things that NPCs actually say. In many cases, there's good reason to come back around many times and see the different things that NPCs will say, because there's a chance they'll say something. You almost think of it like what might this NPC say today? What might this NPC say on this trip after I've done a little bit more in the zone? I'm going to come back and check things out and see. Okay.
What happened? You are not welcome in Avelia, Joppa.
I guess that's the Dire Lord in me, I think.
Hmm.
And these Watchguard don't.
They're
doing their job well. I'll say that.
They do.
I guess some people are not happy with some of the design choices you've made.
Yeah, that is actually some of the subtext that was sent to me personally by the NPC.
Oh, I found the leather worker though.
Oh, nice, man.
Fix the shaman. Fix the shaman.
Good day to you, Shaman.
You do to my druid.
Oh, that's cool. So he knows my name is Ronick too.
Oh, nice. Yep. Now, see, that's a perfect example. If you and I'm going to do my best not to spoil too many things, but it's subtle, but it's meaningful. If you talk to Zavi and you take the time to talk with Zavi and do the things that she's encouraging you to do in those first few moments, then when you come talk to this leather worker, you're going to get, a little bit of a different kind of dialogue with this NPC. In some cases, it's small. Some cases, it's minor. But in some cases, it could be more significant in terms of, opening up more insight into the various NPCs and what's going on based on the kind of conversations you've had. And again, the point there is to really push deeply into the idea that Pantheon is an immersive and rich world. It's not a surface level thing. There really is meaning to considering the area and the denizens of the area and the different NPCs that are here and how you might interact with them and what they might say and what that might mean for you down the road. And by not going with the golden egg approach, it leaves the world much more ripe for that kind of natural exploration, that natural discovery that we value so much. It's very exciting. It's really fun to play because you're constantly carrying that sense of I can't wait to see what the next NPC I encounter is going to say and how it might relate to the things that I've done so far.
Well, the leather worker, after I spoke to her the first time, told me to come back, and I went back, and now he wants me to get some wolf pelts, and he said he'd make me some better armor. So.
Oh, nice.
But it said standard wolf pelts, so I'm guessing these low quality ones aren't gonna cut it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep decimating the wolf population of Terminus.
Sounds good. So
I don't think that sounds good at all. I think the wolves might have something to say about that.
I don't speak on behalf of the wolves, though. I'm trusting they're under control. I'm actually just kind of taking my chances here a little bit. I'm interested to see who else okay. Yep. There are still some people in Avelia that do not like me. Wow.
I have purged Joppa and his darkness from our lands. Wait, hold on, I better pay attention. I almost died.
Citizens of Thronefast, I have purged Joppa and his darkness from our lands. May the light always prevail. That is a paladin of Thronefast in Avelia, and he also does not seem to take kindly to Dire Lord. So that's but this highlights just a really important mechanic too, in that the choice you make in character creation, what race am I going to be, what class am I going to be, and then when you set yourself into a world as immersive as we're describing in terms of this depth of NPC interaction and how intelligent NPCs are and how much recollection, quote unquote, they have based on what you've done and what your actions are a product of. We've talked about this a lot as it relates to perception, and as you can imagine, it has a very deep effect on perception and how the perception content is experienced, and it allows a keeper to dig even deeper in unfolding the fruit of all of that activity and the culmination of who your character is. But even for the common player who's not even engaging in the perception system, there still is a nice level of depth there in terms of what NPCs are saying and what they're thinking and why and how they're going to respond to you in different situations. Obviously, that a lot of that plays into the faction system as well. Me being a Dire Lord, it's understandable that the Paladins would have a problem with me, and as a Dire Lord, regardless of my race, the peaceful humans of Avelia, are either aggressive towards me or just afraid because of what a Dire Lord is. But even as an ogre, running into Avelia, you're going to get a lot of the same reaction, which is cool, because even at this early stage of the game, the quest or the task that David's doing right now, a Dire Lord could not do. You didn't see it when I ran up to the Leatherworker, but when I try to go up to the Leatherworker, he just says, I have no intention of dealing with your kind. Dire Lord, get out of here. And so you're already seeing kind of that different kind of experience that starts playing out based on your decisions that character create.
So I got a new piece of gear. I traded in the leather, the standard wolf pelt, and I got a wolf fur tunic, which I will. So I guess there's two ways I can equip this, right? I can either
you can drag and drop it, or you can just right click. Yeah.
Or I can just drag and drop it. Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you go to your defense tab there, you'll see. So
I was at 15, right? And if I click on it, that's all.
And you got a point of Constitution on that too. Nice.
Awesome. And
that's another thing to talk about here too. Is we've talked about our stats and how we want stats to be very meaningful, and players start off at character creation with 1 point in each stat, and that you have a few points to spend at character creation, but we've really driven that point home, and we've really been very mindful about making sure that stands. We want stats to be very meaningful, and it plays into a lot of different aspects of the game. But as we're starting to show more and more of the game and getting more and more of the gameplay out there, it's going to become more and more clear how each and every point of stamina, each and every point of dexterity, of constitution has a massive effect on the strength of your character.
I can't wait for the fans to tell me how bad a player I am. How come you didn't have your hot running the whole time? Oh, I just dinged.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I'm now level 2.
WTG.
Awesome.
So shall we check out maybe some later levels as to what people can expect during the pre-Alpha 5 Shakeout weekend?
I think that's a good call. We'll be back, and when we come back, we'll be a few levels higher, a few more abilities available. We'll check out a different part of the area here, and we'll catch you guys then.
And we're back. I realize 0 seconds have passed for you guys, but it's been like 10 minutes for us. So we are back. We are now level 6. Woohoo! And
it didn't take us 10 minutes to get to level 6, though.
No, it did not. We did cheat a little bit, but
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I grinded pretty hard there.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man.
They just watched me play. Nobody's believing that.
Truth. So what are we doing here?
I did, not you.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so we have bumped up to level 6. You can see, David, if you want to open your inventory, we went ahead and got a little bit more of this light armor, this light leather armor for David, our shaman. You see the armor class has gone up quite a bit there, and we also have a few more abilities available to us. Ben and I are both on Dire Lords. David's on the shaman. So we're going to try our hand at a little bit higher content here and see how it goes. And we're intentionally not showing the location of this area. This is a little bit of a difficult area to find, and but we're gonna give things a roll here. So I don't think I'm going to turn my aggro on. There we go.
Yeah, I can do that too, I think.
Cool.
Oh, I can actually. Oh yeah, Can I buff you with this grip of the shale?
Yeah,
Sweet.
that'd be great. Give me another little bit more strength.
Bang.
2 strength now, rocking 2 strength. I put my starting points into Constitution, Dex, and Stam.
I'm gonna get yelled.
Mileage may vary. That's not an endorsement. It's just what I chose to do today. Nice.
Ben, hang on, I'll buff you too. Much as it pains me.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on up.
Oops. I'm gonna get in trouble for my point and click abilities.
You don't point and click, do you?
Sometimes.
Hey, that's okay.
Do you use a Naga at all? Like a Razor Naga?
No.
It's tough to get used to, but once you get used to those thumb buttons, man, it makes MMOs so much better.
Are they an official sponsor of Pantheon? Rise and Fall?
No, but anybody who MMOs should know what a Naga is.
I know, but
There are other
no
brands
free
that do this,
endorsements here. No free endorsements.
All right, let's keep our wits because we're gonna get hit right here immediately with the magician. This is a very, very different fight. So all I know to say is Ronak, make sure you stay on top of the heels, and it's not going to do any good to try and pull. I don't have a silence yet, and so he's going to just blow us up from distance if we don't close the gap. So count of 3, I'm going to run in, and we'll get rolling.
I'll watch.
Ready? Yeah, thanks, Ben. 3, 2, 1, go. Old magician, so we're dealing with stuns and roots.
Oh my goodness, you got it ad.
Nope.
We got
we
it,
got
2
that
ads.
ad.
Okay, we got a second one. That second one was a fire magician. There's no way. Okay.
I'm like, wait, he backed off, but he backed off because
Oh.
he killed you. Now he's killing us.
Well, one of us is immortal, so.
Which one of you?
Oh, we're all dead.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's tough. Getting a double magician at that choke point is really tough for our level, or at least for our group size. But
Why'd you bring us there?
well, you know.
It's just like, all right, guys, here, come see this. Hold my beer. Thanks.
It's all good. That's a really, really tough, really tough spot. But it's got some good stuff in there, and it's pretty neat to get through that cave to the other side. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, so we're back, same spot. We were decimated last time, so we wanted to come back and give this a try. But instead of bumping up the levels and getting a little stronger off screen, we decided to do it all here while we were recording. So what I want David to do, we're going to set our level to 8 and come back, as it were, a few levels higher. So go ahead and do that, Dave. And then you can over your inventory, you see that your health has gone up just a little bit. And we've also, if you hover over your chest piece, we've given you 1 additional point of wisdom. So now you're got 4 wisdom instead of 3. So a little bit more mana, a little bit more spell power. And Ben and I also, we're going to set our level to 8. We'll go ahead and do that now. And I've also got, on my tunic, I added a couple points of stamina. So this is to reflect having 2 additional stamina on my character. So instead of having 2 stamina before, now I have 4 stamina. And with Ronak's buff, I've actually got, I'll just read off my stats. As a Dire Lord, I've got 2 strength, 4 stamina, 4 constitution, 1 agility, 2 dex, and then 1 in everything else. So, but my health pool has gone up from about 130 or so to now I'm at 198.
Sweet.
We're also now just one level below the magician instead of 3. So it's just a good opportunity to show kind of what that level difference feels like trying the same thing. So this time we're going to do it the same as we did last time. I'm going to engage the magician.
As in die or?
Yep, most likely. Most likely we will. But we need to be careful not to aggro this magician over to the right. So when I go in, just hug this left wall, and we will we'll hope that the other one doesn't come by. I'm just going to wait till he hopefully wanders back to the left. You ready, Ronak? You got all your...
Yep, pre-ticking you.
Yep.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, here we go.
Goes.
Job on heels. He's getting mana back.
Uh-oh.
All right, we got
Yeah.
Echo. Watch it. Going to be a heavy burst on you, David. Try to peel this off.
I'll finish
She
off
might
the
provoke
other
a
guy.
Phantom's target to the Fire Magician.
And
We can burn the other magician down.
there's the death.
Almost got one down.
You got a mana? Yep.
Yeah.
We got one. Nice. That's good. That's good. Not bad. We still have a pretty limited arsenal here to work with, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Those Fire Magicians are really tough. That's a very, very tough spawn right there with those two right together. But we did our best. Good job, guys. That was fun.
It's awesome.
I'm going to release.
Cool.
And with that, I think that's all we've got to show for today. We don't want to ruin all of Pre-Alpha 5 Shakeout for our VIP pleasures. There's lots and lots for you to do. There's tons of content. In fact, you're going to want more time to play it. Remember, that's coming up on September 5th and 6th, which is next weekend. If you do not have Pre-Alpha access, there is still time to get in there. Go to PantheonMMO.com and check out the pledge packages that include pre-alpha access. Chris, Dave, thanks for playing today. I think we all had fun. I know I sure did, particularly the parts where we all died.
Nothing new for me.
Well, we kept you company this time, David.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. As we've said it many times before, but getting the testers in, getting people in the game playing, absolutely cannot wait. And so excited about the upcoming weekend and Pre-Alpha 5 proper beyond. So onward and upward.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Adios.
Take care, everybody.